August 13th, 2026. Let's rip through it. Quick shout to today's sponsor, Compete Token, the gaming crypto that actually has real games behind it. Links in the description. Tether just passed a Big Four audit with $6.8 billion to spare. KPMG issued a clean opinion on Tether's 2025 financials, and the reserves came in over the liabilities by $6.814 billion. Yes, that's Tether, the same company critics have been screaming about for years, with a signed KPMG opinion on the money backing a $180 billion stablecoin. This is the first full independent audit of Tether's actual financial statements, not just the quarterly attestations they've been publishing. Every reserve, every counterparty, every valuation examined. So all the Tether's not backed, tweets from 2019, time to delete those, gentlemen. This is a massive legitimacy win for stablecoins. Goldman Sachs just dropped $2.25 billion to get into Bitcoin ETFs. They're buying ETF manager NEOS Investments, whose whole thing is option income Bitcoin funds. Goldman doesn't cut $2 billion checks for fun, they smell the flow. Remember when Goldman analysts were on TV explaining why Bitcoin had no future? Now they're paying billions to catch up. This is the exact adoption curve we've been talking about. First they laugh, then they ban it, then they buy the ETF issuer. Metaplanet's CEO just killed the $322 million sale rumor. Crypto Twitter watched 5,014 Bitcoin move out of Metaplanet's wallet and lost its mind. Everyone assumed Japan's biggest Bitcoin treasury was dumping. Simon Jurovich hopped on and shut it down. It was a routine custody move that cost the company $8 in fees. Holdings still 43,000 Bitcoin untouched. So the lesson, as always, before you scream they're selling at every wallet transfer, maybe check the Block Explorer first. The DeLeo CEO just got 15 years for a $50 million crypto scam. A Seoul court sentenced Jeong Sang-ho after finding him guilty of embezzlement and running a fake trading license. $50 million of user funds gone. Every time one of these guys goes to prison, the whole industry gets a little cleaner. This is exactly the enforcement crypto needs, not banning Bitcoin, going after the actual criminals stealing from actual users. More of this, please. Trezor just leaked 14,000 customer records. Not a hack of the devices. The leak came through their shipping partner Shipmonk. Names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, all out there for anyone who bought a Trezor between May 10th and August 8th. Trezor's private keys are safe, but that's cold comfort when scammers now have your name and your home address and they know you own a hardware wallet. Expect a wave of extremely targeted phishing. Note to hardware wallet companies, maybe vet the vendor before handing them your customer list. Kalshi just hit a $40 billion valuation in its new raise. The prediction market is in talks with Sequoia and Wellington for $750 million fresh. $40 billion for a website where you bet on whether the Fed cuts rates. Say what you want about prediction markets, but the valuations are absolutely wild. Sequoia doesn't cut checks like this for a fad. They think Kalshi is the next NYSE for information. And honestly, they might be right. Robinhood chain just blew past $1 billion in TVL in a few weeks. Standard Chartered called it the fastest chain launch by that metric ever. And essentially all of the liquidity is flowing through Uniswap V2, V3, and V4. This is a huge deal for two reasons. Robinhood ships a chain and instantly gets institutional-grade liquidity by piggybacking on Uniswap. And Uniswap now owns the plumbing for every new chain that wants to launch without spending a year bootstrapping. Nobody's building this stuff from scratch anymore. Japan's biggest bank just put government bonds on-chain. 4 MUFG companies are running a proof of concept to move Japanese government bond repo transactions onto the Canton network. 24/7 real-time settlement, no more T+2 nonsense. When MUFG says the word on-chain in an official announcement, that's a mega bank quietly admitting the old rails are broken. And Japan tends to move slow and then all at once. This is the all-at-once part starting. The Bank of England is testing stablecoins with Polygon. Their digital pound lab is running a cross-border trade finance experiment with NOBO Finance, Dun & Bradstreet, and Polygon Labs. An exporter gets paid in stablecoins. The UK importer settles in a simulated digital pound. 2 years ago, the same Bank of England was wringing its hands about the risks of crypto. Now they're building on Polygon. The stablecoin train has officially left the station, and every central bank is scrambling to get a seat. Bitwise just cut 14% of staff in the downturn, roughly 25 people out, down from about 180 to 155. Coinbase, BitGo, Robinhood, Polygon, everyone's trimming this year. CEO Hunter Horsley says growth is still coming as crypto integrates further into the global economy, which is what every CEO says the week they do layoffs. But look, bear markets always shake out the extra weight, and the strong firms come out leaner. That's the cycle. One more time, check out today's sponsor, Compete Token, link in the description. That's the news. Smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.